Mitakai Oresen, I have decided that I need to append as postscript to my discussion of categorical imperative because I left some things unsaid. And as I said before, this is not a deep dive. I plan to speak more about this in the future. I plan to speak about a number of philosophical constructs. And Immanuel Kant, who came up with the categorical imperative, would not agree with me that love needs to be the only categorical imperative and everything else is in service to that. No, he said that there are a number of categorical imperatives of morality, and thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, right? Did not believe in the idea of a just war. Murder is wrong, period. And he would have had me not taken the action I did several years ago when my neighbor was attacked by a knife wielding assailant. And the only weapon I had on me at that time was a machete. So I stopped this assailant from murdering my neighbor. I tried to kill him. And I say that without regret. That was an act of love. Act of love for my neighbor, of course, act of love for my neighborhood. Act of love for me, because I was being true to my integrity, to what I know is right and wrong, and even an act of love for the assailant, because it prevented him from becoming a murderer. I wish to add to the list of things that are just absolutely unhealthy and wrong in this society right now. You know, I was one of the very first people, maybe the very first that I know of, that capitalized B in black for speaking about black people. But I also capitalized W in white, and even Y in yellow and R in red, talking about Asians and American Indians. Now, nobody's following me because now everyone seems to be capitalizing B for black. But I'm telling you that that sends the message that B for black is more important, and that W for white either unimportant or they need to be punished somehow. They need to be diminished somehow. And that is the absolute wrong, unhealthy message to send. The idea that only one group can say a certain word and the other, and they can say that word regardless of context, even when they use it in vile means, vile ways, and that another group can't say it, even when they use it in most benign ways. This guy, what is his name? Morgan Wallace? When I first heard about him using that word, every report that I read about on the internet, maybe a dozen reports, is that he used it against a black man. He did not. I finally saw the video. And he used it against a white man. And he wasn't even using it against, he used it playfully. But somebody recorded him, and then, you know, the whole world or so many people in this society decided they heard the word, so that he must be a vile man. That is not evidence of anything. And like I said, other people, other groups can use it in vile ways, and they can still be fine. It is not. I recently saw an episode of Blackish. I was at a friend's house, and I don't watch TV that much anymore, but I saw this, and the grandma said to a Korean neighbor, during the riots, you had your chance. You had a gun pointed to my head, and you had your shot, and you didn't take it. Yet I took your TV, so ha! What a vile thing to say. What a reprehensible thing to say. And you know, Grandma is living the high life in a good neighborhood, in a good house, wearing beautiful clothes. We're not judging on character anymore. We're making judgments about character because of their ethnic grouping, because of the color of skin. And that is at its core unhealthy. It is at its core teaching that there are good and bad despite what we can do to impact our own character, despite what we can do to impact the goodness and light we bring to the world. So, peace for fingers and love. Always make the decision to love. It's challenging, but it is oh so worth it. Be good to yourselves.